Sure.
If you could state your first, last name, and official title.
Sure. I'm Sergeant Robert Hungerford with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Traffic Homicide Unit.
And how do you spell your last name?
H-U-N.
Oh, can you guys hold on 1 second? Are we recording? Are we recording on your camera? Are they rolling on it? Okay. All right, sorry. Can you say it one more time?
Sure. Sergeant Robert Hungerford with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Traffic Homicide Unit.
And the spelling of your last name, please?
Hungerford.
Thank you, sir. So what incident happened today on I-95?
Okay. This morning about 10:45, officers responded to a rollover traffic crash southbound on I-95. The first officer on the scene stopped northbound in the center breakdown lane next to the grass and exited his vehicle to check on the first crash. As he did so, a community service officer was southbound on I-95 and pulled over in the center breakdown lane as well on the median on the edge of the roadway there. Both the officers came down into the little valley. I-95 north and south is separated by a median. It's grass. In that area, there's a small valley. They both came down to check on the original crash, which was a rollover traffic crash. That driver was fine. Both the CSO and the police officer went back to the CSO's car to start paperwork and to call for a tow truck. As that vehicle, again, was parked southbound in the center breakdown lane next to the median. As they walked back, the driver was making phone calls to their family. They remained by their vehicle, out of the vehicle. A second vehicle was southbound on I-95 in the same area, just south of Myrtle Street, about just between the I-10 split and on I-95. That vehicle lost control, and it spun into the center median, striking both the community service officer, the police officer, and the driver of the other vehicle. The driver of the secondary vehicle was unharmed. All three of the pedestrians that were out of the vehicles were transported to the hospital. That includes the community service officer, the police officer, and the driver of the original rollover traffic crash. The community service officer and the police officer are in stable condition. They are injured. The driver of the original vehicle is in critical condition with life-threatening injuries. Northbound and southbound I-95 is at a crawl right now. Due to onlookers, there's a large police presence. The southbound inside lane of I-95 is blocked. It will remain blocked for probably another 2 or 3 hours as we process the scene. At this time, there's no indication of any kind of impairment. I do believe that speed and weather conditions at the time probably played a factor, but we will leave that to the detectives to determine, and they are out there processing that scene now. And I will take any questions that you have.
The driver of the second vehicle that led to the more serious issue here of these injuries for the 3 people, that driver, are they facing any charges at this point?
No, they are cooperating and is remorseful. He's remorseful. It was simply an accident. They stated we will be evaluating speed and culpability. At this time, it does not appear that will be the case, but that could change.
When it comes to driving, and you mentioned the weather conditions, at the time, was it raining?
It had just finished raining, and it was intermittent all morning. So it could have been raining at the time. The driver reported it had just finished, and the road was slick. Obviously, we had 2 crashes in the same area